Well, hello, my cephalopod friends. We are here with Little Squid Lead 36. We are in the gold bracket. I am Topic, and I am joined by Sig to watch some Little Squid League action.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Like like Topic said, we are here for LSL 36. We have Fool's Gold versus 88 Star, and we have the maps ready for y'all. We got Claimblitz on Museum de Alfonsino, Splat Zones on Maui Resort, and Rainmaker on Humpback Pump Track. How you feeling about these maps, Topic?
So let's just start off with the first one, Clams Museum. I'd say it's one of the better map modes in the game because just how just wide museum is. It's only really three ways you can push. You can go through the middle spin, you can go through the left, the right, left. I don't know my directions. You can go to the right side ramp, or you can go to the left side block. So I think it being much wider does provide a lot more unique ways to push and to defend.
Yeah, it also leans a lot more into those longer range weapons that you don't, the leaders that you don't see as often anymore. Although, they're still plenty powerful. So we might be seeing a couple of those during this set. But I want to ask you about how do you feel about the block that you jump up on near the basket? Because that's something that I personally don't like because of the Kraken. How do you feel about it?
I I mean, if like I get it, if you use Kraken, like if you have any Kraken weapon, then yeah, it's not. But I feel like if you get like if you can like sneak somebody in, what I like to do on this map in like solo or in like a team environment, I like to sneak on the block with like four or five clamps because usually no one's looking at it because no one expects it, right? I like to sneak
Yeah.
on and then just jump over, and then someone jumps in, and then hopefully they get the clam in. If not, then it was a good try.
Honestly, that sounds kind of sick. It
It
is
is.
pretty hard to hit from behind that pillow as well. Although you do have a really good angle at that top left. You don't see it used super often. Really just powerful spot to be for an attackers, and you kind of need it with how little cover the rest of the map can give you at times.
Yeah, because I feel like the block is mainly for like if you get a wipeout, you know what I mean? Like you get that wipeout, you get three down, the last guy is forced back. So you kinda just need a quick push. You got the guy with the ball, you like go, get on the block, jump over it, get clams in, and then you can have support from the other ways to like get in. But yeah, the block mainly you wanna use it only for like those quick pushes with the wipeouts.
Yeah. Although, or in those clutch plays in overtime where you just need a couple extra clams, super useful then too. I've definitely saved my butt in a tourney beforehand.
Yeah, I agree. It has saved me as well.
Oh, it's so nice. Well, let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about Mahi Mahi zones. How are you feeling
Mur-
about that?
Murdered by Splatoon 3.
Dang.
That's all I have
Not
to
even gonna
say.
hold it. Okay.
And not because if you did you play Splatoon 1 at all?
I unfortunately did not know.
Okay. So basically the side islands that are on the side islands in Splatoon 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
imagine those but actually important to the game.
Oh, that sounds
So
crazy.
it is like it was really big, really expansive. You just allowed for a lot of stuff. But unfortunately, Splatoon 3 devs said, "No, let's make it into a Tetris piece." And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I think it's still a pretty good map. Again, I never had the perspective that you do on playing S1, but it's still honestly one of the better zones maps in the game right now, at least to me. Does lean
Especially
into the
after
leader a little bit as well, similar to Museum, but less so, and it provides more opportunity to fight and more cover.
Yeah, especially after the rework they did. It made it a lot better.
Yeah, oh, that rework was so nice, giving good few more options. That extra island on the end there, I feel helped out, make that area a little bit more relevant. But we're gonna load in again. We have Fool's Gold versus 88 Star. Let's load in. We see an edit and an incline
Ooh,
switch. Okay, okay. Hold on.
uh,
In double splatling brush for
okay.
88. That's really cool.
Yeah, they're cooking a little bit with the edit and the. I think what Fool's Gold is trying to do is trying to use the chumps to get their Slayers in with the Crab and the Zuka, but looks like it's not going to work as both of them go down almost immediately as the Brush is just, doing brush things, just being a little rat, just doing what he does.
Yeah, you don't need chumps if you can already get up to the enemy flat as fast as you can with Brush. And 88 is showing that pretty well. Already providing a ton of control here. The pack coming out, also trying to get the pick onto Septic on the bottom right. Not quite doing so. Chumps come out and shutting down the push. Oh, 88 misses a power slam too, but Slimester goes in with the Brush, gets it at the cost of bolts. It's just Kira left standing on this plat. Can they get one to trade? Whoa. Yes, and they end up retreating, making a pretty small push. Pretty costly, but still not sacrificing a lot of mid.
Yeah,
really well played for 88.
Yeah, great job by 88. Just getting something going. They did get those quick picks in the early game. Try to put the pressure on. Although they didn't get a really good push, because Fool's Gold's defense was good enough to just hold instead of trying to force them back. They were able to hold them long enough for them to stall. But it looks like 88 is going to try to go for it again. They do have two specials at the ready. They do have the Inkjet to try to put a little more pressure and rain to kind of move people away. Looks like the Notch trying to make a play here. They do get one. However, 88 Star is 2 down at the moment.
Yeah, it's 2 down, but Kira on that knock gets 2 huge picks onto the Stringer and the heavy edit, meaning that 88 can push up a little bit. It's just the heavy edit and Stringer realistically left, providing jumps.
Oh, that's 3 down.
It's 3 down already, and another jump forced out. 88 has another opportunity to push here and extend their lead even further. Jackpot coming in with that power climb is going to get that started. Already down to past 60. Everybody jumping in. Bolts running in. Tosses 3 in before going down. However, Fool's Gold just making sure that they get a ton of shutdowns onto 88, just preventing that lead from being extended anywhere past 45. Yeah, solid defense from them, but they need to make something happen with only 2 minutes 40 seconds left in this game.
Yeah, especially with the edit and the Stringer. I feel like those weapons aren't the best at pushing forward. They're more meant as like not backliney, but they're more meant to be like a support weapons, supposed to like help the Slayers. But with both of them, I feel like that is kind of hindering their chances at pushing, but it is helping them with their defenses.
Yeah, these pushes haven't really gotten too out of hand for them yet, but now we get to see them on the offensive a little bit more with this crab pop as well. They're gonna have to deal with this.
Oh, there's the jet.
Oh, there gets a pick onto it already. Shuts down the crab with Slimester in the back there to get the pick. Charm gets picked off as well, trying to jump out, and that's a full wipeout for 88 Star. They're able to get all the way up onto the flat. Slimester moves up for another pick onto Muck, and that just means that 88 Star is knocking on the door of the basket again. What offense? What good offense from 88 so far.
Yeah, we're seeing right here kind of like the dichotomy of how teams like to play the game, with 88 Star just being way more aggressive and Fool's Gold just trying to respond in any way they can, but the Stamper just shuts down the Brush immediately as Fool's Gold is trying to make their first push, because right now they do have a Zuka at the ready, though not a lot of clams. They only have about 15. A ball, they could make a ball, but it's not one at the ready, as there's 1 down, there's 2 down for 88 Star, and right now this is their opportunity to get something going, but the counter jet shuts it down immediately as 88 Star is able to hold on just a little bit longer.
What a huge pick, the bomb spam and the pack coming in, just shutting down the push from Fool's Gold. Really well played defense from 88 Star. They're really putting a chokehold on this map. Especially with such a massive lead that they have. Only 50 seconds left for Fool's Gold to make anything happen here, as we see the Stamper and the Shot trying to get aggressive on the ramp, while your Stringer tries to get some picks, get some chip damage off onto the other side of flat. Can they get anything? Can they make anything happen here? It doesn't quite look like it, as the Nautilus gets a pick onto somebody in ramp, and with that rain pushing everyone out, it's just going to force the rest of Fool's Gold back to mid.
Yeah, with about 25 seconds left, Fool's Gold has to get something going, because right now they're just being stalled in mid. Despite their apparent advantage in range with against 88 Star, Fool's Gold is just not able to push. But with 10 seconds left, the Knot does get one, try to shut down any push. That's 3 down. The Zuka comes out trying to get a pick. Oh, nice snipe on the ball. Managed to get it, but that will be it. 88 Star, kind of a really dominant performance, just not allowing Fool's Gold to take mid, only letting them take it like the very end of the game.
Yeah, great hold, and that's a lot of that defensive prowess that we can see from a double splatling. You know, you can't really run at them necessarily, and while Fool's Gold did have a lot of tools that they can use to shut that down, they weren't quite able to get it in the right position or the best position possible to get a push going. Like you see on you know, they had a couple chumps that got into plat, but they weren't able to get their shot in far enough to really play off of them super duper well. Same thing with the crab. The crab kept getting shut down by the Zuka time and time again. But at the end there, it showed pretty well for Fool's Gold. They might be able to get a couple things going in this map too on Zone's Mahi Mahi. Definitely something that leans more towards the Incline Tri-Stringers kit than Clan Blitz.
Yeah, because with the solid zone, you know, you can just you can concentrate the chumps into such a small area that you kind of have to force you have to force 88 Star to fight them in there. Because with Mahi, you can, or not with Mahi, with Museum, it's not that easy to, but you can just kind of ignore the chumps, right? You can just go around them. But with Mahi and it being zones, you're kind of forced to just fight within the chumps, which is kind of what you want to do with them. Since by themselves they don't really do much, but they are a really good distraction and provide some cover and do provide some cover. So I think Fool's Gold is kind of want to kind of fight around the chumps with, especially with the splash and with the stamper, since the chumps would be a really good distraction.
Yeah, and on a smaller map, that's, you know, the amount of area the chumps take up is so much more impactful. As we see, same comp running from Fool's Gold, and it looks like the same thing from 88 Star. I believe they had a zap last game, correct? Am I correct?
Yes,
or...
yes, they did.
I missed that one.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly, and you know, Fool's Gold are saying, you know, by doing this that they are, you know, comfortable enough with this comp where they're confident where they with two doubles, 3 down already on the side of 88. They're already answering back with a huge exclamation mark. 3 down, forcing I believe that's Jackpot or Bolts all the way back into the spawn, already pushing way up here down to 75 points. Muck is way in, trying to just cause as much distraction as possible, not quite getting a pick, but forcing a rotation from Bolts here. Slimester pushing up on hashtag. The water level dropping already. Zone is neutralized, but not before the crab gets popped for, you know, just to keep Fool's Gold in mid here. Slimester staying alive for quite a while, though. This brush is so slippery. Not going to be able to find a pick off of it or stall out the zone for long enough to get a lead, but still staying alive here is so important. However, Fool's Gold does manage to cap that zone again, and they're going to start chewing through this penalty and get right back to extending their lead.
Yeah, but it looks like Fool's Gold is trying to do something here, but 88 Star does respond by capping zone. They managed to break through their quite minuscule, honestly, penalty, and let's see how they will respond. I think with this map, they really got to watch out for those chumps, as those are really good. And like you just saw right there, the brush can just abuse those ledges, is what they like to do a lot, but the Zuka does get one. The Zuka gets 2, but this might be a lead change in favor of 88 Star. It's close, 57. No, they don't get it. Fool's Gold, that's the last second, manages to flip zone in their favor and keep the lead.
Wow, and they're just going hunted for this last pick here, not quite able to find it. Slimester staying alive enough for Kira to get the refrag, and now Slimester's going in off of that with the incredible crossfire. The pack coming out of here. 88 Star is not done yet. They're going to try and neutralize this zone, maybe flip it if they can, but this paint from the Stringer with the Sprinkler and the Chumps and the main weapon as well, just doing a great job at stalling the zone. 88 Star does manage to does end up getting the zone. However, it's not at the cost of nothing. Slimester going down on the push in, having cooler for the whale to be up very quickly, but the Zuka coming out also gets the pick onto Kira on that Nautilus, and the crab getting popped here means that the zone is going to be neutralized, and there's another down. There's your shot gone.
And that's a wipe.
That's a full wipeout in favor of Fool's Gold here. Now they can set up, and you know, with this little penalty, they can just start extending this lead again.
Yeah, it's like they are going to start doing that. But right now, it looks like 88 Star is going to try to abuse these islands here, try to take a little bit of high ground. The Zap trying to do something. They do pop the cooler, and the whale's coming out. Fool's Gold is being tested, but the Stamper does get one with about 25 seconds 25 ticks left.
Ooh.
They do get another. The chumps are out. The Stamper doing what Stampers do and just run around hitting things, and it's working out. 10 seconds with the wipeout, and that will be game for Fool's Gold. What a response.
Huge triple at the end there from Hashtag as well. Just pulling everybody from 88 over to that right side, not even focusing on the zone as it's ticking down. Really well played from them, and that means that Fool's Gold evens up the set, and we're going to game 3.
Yeah, the Stamper, great job. I just want to say great job. They kind of do what those type of weapons are meant to do. You know, your carbons, your brushes, your stampers, your wipers. They're meant to be a distraction. They're meant to pull people away from the objective so that your team can just overwhelm the objective itself and then kind of rotate over. So by just distracting them over on that right side, that gave Fool's Gold, the rest of Fool's Gold, enough time to deal with everybody else and then come back.
Yeah, really solid stuff. As we move on to this next map, it's Rainmaker on Humpback Pump Track. I think we're going to see some very similar comps here, just based off the nature of these two teams so far. Do you think we might see possibly a vanilla Tri-Stringer instead with that Toxic Mist and Killer Whale?
I could see it happening, but I think it just depends. Well, because I'm a bucket player, so there better be a bucket on this map. But in terms of Tri-Stringer, I could see it happening. I could see the toxic mist being useful to slow down pushes. The Ray, not the Ray, it's not Splatoon 2. The Killer Whale being helpful in trying to slow down pushes again, just scoping people out. I could see it, though. I can also see an argument for the chumps just being able to clear a big enough path with the sprinkler and the chumps and just the main weapon, which is pretty decent at painting by itself. So it can honestly go either way for the stringer.
Yeah, as you said, I want to see a bucket here too. Buckets are so strong. The other day during, I forgot what tournament it was, Triton Cup, there were a few comps on Rainmaker Humpback that went triple bucket, and it went pretty well. I'm wondering if we'll see at least one from these teams. But what would it replace on either comp?
That's a good question. I would say the shot on Fool's Gold, and then on 88 Star, maybe the brush, since brush is useful, but it's a lot less impactful if they know where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get.
So I could see like either the shot player or the stamper player on Fool's Gold switching over. And then on 88 Star, I could see the brush player switching over. Though,
definitely,
who knows?
It's definitely possible. I'm very curious.
Oh, looks like I was wrong. No bucket.
Not quite. They're just running back.
Oh, there's one.
Never mind.
I forgot about one of them had cooler. So
yeah,
that's on me. Yeah. But right now, it looks like a lot of the same stuff that we've been seeing, though there is a Trizuka out for 88 Star, and it looks like the knot for 88 Star is already going down as Fool's Gold is trying to establish their presence early, as they already have at least one at the elbow just waiting. The whale is out. The brush trying to do brush things and sneak around. It looks like it might work. They're just trying to find just space here and get a pick. Looks like this won't even matter, as 88 Star is able to hold on and not let them get the first checkpoint.
Really solid defense there from 88 Star. I do want to highlight, oh, never mind, there's a lot of action going on. Crab pop and a pick already going on down. The brush goes down from 88 Star. It looks like Fool's Gold is still going to maintain control of mid here with this shark from Muck. Getting a pick onto Jackbot there is massive. I'm not even going to get time to talk about the Tri-Slosher running double fizzy, as Slimester goes up for a flank as well, popping that whale just to get some map control and displacement right underneath the
nice
Zuka. Goes down to Slimester, but Slimester gets 2! Make that 3 down on the side of Fool's Gold. 88 Star can get this push going finally, as Kira on that knot gets a little bit aggressive on that Tri-Stringer, forcing them so far back, enabling 88 to get that checkpoint. Really solid play so far from them. That's a sacrifice that you'll take every day of the week, especially for lead.
Yeah, even though they did take lead, this is kind of a not bad. Well, it's kind of a bad lead. It's only 2 points, and plus they just break the checkpoint. So Fool's Gold does, or not Fool's Gold, 88 Star has to be worried about getting wiped here, because if they get wiped, Fool's Gold can just run it, get checkpoint, they can pop it real quick and just go. So other than that, it looks like they are going to hold up with this defense as Azuka is coming out. The knot and the shot on this elbow, trying to make sure no one's trying to sneak through. The crab, though, they do manage to get the knot. The whale is out. That's 2 down for the side of 88 Star, and this is what I was talking about. Here we go. The Fool's Gold is already set up. The cooler is out. There is one behind. They do manage to get the brush. This is it, and they do take the lead. Another Zuka is out. This might be a chance for Fool's Gold to extend their lead even further. That's 3 down. It's just the brush trying to play a little bit of hero ball. It is going to work, and they do save it from the knockout.
Wow, what a push from Hashtag and Charm specifically. Hashtag just escorting Charm on that Rainmaker all the way down to 3 points. Really impressive stuff. However, 3 members do go down on Fool's Gold. That means that 88 can get this reset going with 2 specials on the board to be able to push with possibly 3 very soon. Yep, there's that Zuka. They can definitely get some stuff going. However, the Nautilus goes down before it can pop Rainmaker or get any picks going. So now it's a 3v4 in favor of Fool's Gold. However, Slimester on the side here gets a pick onto the stringer. What a huge pick. That's going to enable a lot more flexibility for the rest of your team. And we see it here as the rest of 88 manages to push up a little bit more, get more aggressive as Bolts grabs the Rainmaker. And now it's 88's turn to get something going here.
Yeah, they got to get all the way to 2 to retake the lead. Looks like they're all kind of set up here on this elbow, trying to just find something, though. The Zuka on the side of Fool's Gold just barely manages to not get a kill, and right now that's 2 down, that's 3 down. The crab is out trying to save from what's happening, though. That's 3 down. It's just the shot. Will the shot manage to do it? So close. They do manage to get it. Now it's just the brush on the side of 88, just trying to see if they can take it and run, though it's not gonna work, but they do manage to get a kill as Fool's Gold just does a smart thing and just drop it down into mid, though the brush does get a triple, and that's a wipeout. Slimester just doing what he does, just be a brush and just be everywhere all at once.
What a huge... Oh my god, he gets more! Slimester is popping off here, fighting the 1v2.
Oh my god.
It's the third with the whale! What is going on? Bolt's already pushing up here. They don't manage quite to grab it.
Oh, so close.
Close. And with how many picks are going out, it's looking really good. But Fool's Gold gets the pop and the return wipeout. With 45 seconds left, they can hold Rainmaker if they want, or they can just push it. They're in a really good spot now to win this game and this series.
Yeah, they're gonna have to try it. Yeah, 88 Star has to try to do something here. They did get really close. It looks like Slimester is gonna try to do it all himself, going for a flank. He do manage to get the heavy. That's 2 down. That's 3 down on the side of Fool's Gold. This is it. This is probably 88's last chance. With only 19 seconds left, they're probably gonna have. This is probably gonna be their last push to try to take this game. With 10 seconds left, they have to get they have 1 special at the ready. Now Fool's Gold just has to hold on for dear life. 5 seconds, we are going to go into overtime. The Stamper trying to get a kill. It's not going to work. That's 3 down again for Fool's Gold. 88 Star is pushing. They're going with 7. The shot manages to save the game, and that is going to be a win for Fool's Gold by the skin of their teeth.
What a match. What a last push. And what a play from Muck at the end there, clutching, knowing that all you need to do is get the pick on the Rainmaker, just lasering them down right at the ink rail. Really
Nice
well played.
fist bump.
Yeah, and huge fist bump. What a well played defense, realistically, from Fool's Gold. They realized that they didn't really have to do anything super crazy. They could back up if they needed to. They did so, and they kind of just let the game come to them, which is really what you can do on defense on Rainmaker, and it's one of the best plays you can make in overtime.
Yeah, it is. But I want to shout out Slimester on the brush, just doing what he does. You know what I mean? Just getting at. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how they stayed alive during that entire time. So that was just great. Great. They put their team into position, but Fool's Gold just manages to hang on and get the 1 pick that they needed.
Yeah, really solid play. I can't believe that Slimester stayed alive for that long. Really well played from them. kind of unfortunate to see 88 start going out so early. They've been grinding. They've been in several tournaments recently. They've been playing pretty well, but Fool's Gold will end up moving on. I believe that is to the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Where
it's
they
the
will play against
quarterfinals.
the winners of 69 Sup and ASC Kumo. Let me refresh bracket to see if there's a winner to that. Yeah, they're playing 69 Supa, who 2-0'd ASC Kumo. That's going to be a banger of a set. However, we are going to go straight into the next one. We're going to have Clowns Crowns versus Riptide.
I'm
Both,
gonna be mixed up saying clowns crowns the entire time.
bro,
So I'm gonna just say clown.
that's
Just
a tongue
clowns.
twister right there. Oh, I'm not ready.
Just say that 5 times fast. Clowns, crowns, clowns.
Clowns Crowns Clowns. Ah, I
You
can't
already
even get
messed
past the
up.
second one, man. All right. As we're gonna move on, we got the maps up. TC Inkblot to start off, El Clásico, our tried and true. We love to see this map in every tournament we play in. After that, we got Clam Blitz on Crab Leg Capital and Splat Zones on Mako Mart. How you feeling about these maps? Topic.
Okay, I have a hot take. I don't like Make a Mark.
Okay, why?
Okay, I don't. It's just to me. It's just with the weapons I play. I just doesn't feel good to play for my weapons.
That's fair. It can feel a little bit awkward on Bucket. If
No,
you're
it's
not
not
like playing.
bucket. I
Oh, you don't
like
play Bucket
bucket
on
on.
this?
I play well. My main weapons. I play rapid blaster, range blaster, CDS, and Nautilus. And for 3 of those weapons, this map feels awful.
It can feel a little bit rough. But I will say this map leans a lot into mid-range weapons.
Yeah, it
They've
does.
definitely proved to be very strong. Granted, not as much on splat zones, more so on the clan blitz where you have the block to play around in mid rather than a pillow. But
Hmm.
the points can still stand. However, it still can feel pretty awkward to move around, especially in breakfast. Those trenches near stacks is super awkward occasionally.
Yeah, but enough talking about the third map. Let's talk about the first one, Inkblot Art Academy. Sig, what do you think?
I mean, this is the map of all time. You see this in every tournament for a reason. It's the standard. It's stable. Probably the best TC map in the game, for my money.
Debatable.
It, honestly, with how consistent it's been, I think it is.
Okay.
And it's really, I personally really enjoy it. You can see a variety of weapon picks working here, but you need to play around those bats. You need to make sure you have that bats coverage, right above the other team's plat when you're pushing that tower, as well as when you're defending. You want to make sure you have your own bats just because of that height advantage, being able to shoot down on the tower, shoot down on the platform, and just having a lot of that control where the tower is pushing.
Yeah. Speaking of bats, so something I play a lot of tournaments, right? So I get
Yeah.
this map mode a lot. So something my team does, we play Rapid and Stamper.
Ooh,
Rapid Deco and
that's evil.
Vanilla Stamper. It's evil because you got burst bombs, you got rapid shots, you got torpedoes, you got inkjet, and you got a stamper. So it's just annoying because you get one on the back, you get one on the plat. Guess what? You got nowhere to go. So it's a little evil, but it works. So
Listen, you love to see it as we load in. Let's see these comps. I'm very curious. We have that
there's
range
a
blaster
range.
bucket. Oh, I like that. A lot of chip damage there. And
Oh,
a
another
leader
bucket.
tri-slosher. Okay, and a junior. I like to see that.
Yeah, a lot of variety. But it seems that Riptide's comp, they're gonna try to push, or they want to try to get that leader as far up as possible, because there is a big range disparity between all of them. Because they got 3 short range weapons, and you got a leader. So there's no in between. So they want to really push, get a couple picks, and then get that leader on one of the stacks or possibly on tower, and then they'll be good to go.
Yeah, as a trade already happens here, and the range flash is going to have to fall back as the tri-slosher pops a pack, not quite going to get anything off of it. The sniper rider being able to shut that down right quick. Viral getting onto the tower, trying to pressure Firewave off of it. Firewave is going to move off of it.
Oh,
Getting a second bar tick to Viral is absolutely massive, and getting another one on the Angsty. Incredible play, great 1v2 there. It's going to neutralize out the zone, and Clown Crowns isn't really going to be able to get anything going off of that. However, the Bucket here getting really aggressive, almost getting the pick onto Procyon. I think it's Procyon? Anyway, getting the pick onto the Tri-Slosher, or getting picked by the Tri-Slosher is going to be pretty tough, enabling Riptide here to get another push going, and another pick with the pack. Really good stuff. Angsty making moves on it, showing why the special has been so strong since March of last year.
Yeah, but there's a flank by the Bucket trying to get a pick here, though he is spotted out. There are bombs being launched at him, trying to get him out of there, and it is going to work. The Zuka out for Clown Crowns is going to get a pick, and now this is Clown. Oh my god, I hate it already. This is Clown. This is Crown's time to kind of establish their. Oh, there is a DC, unfortunately, though.
Oh, rip. I don't quite remember what the DC rules are. If it's past,
I think it's
X amount of points.
230.
230. Okay. I don't remember if there was a score thing as well. Dang, that's unfortunate. It looks like we're just gonna let it play out. I wonder if do we know the cancel button? There we go. All right, we're gonna run it back then real quick. Some interesting comments. Let's talk about it a little bit.
Okay, so before
that seems pretty curious with the junior Charger and the Tri-Slosher.
Yeah, it's very, like I said, it's a very mismatched kind of range. Like they want to get all three of those weapons in, right? If they get those in, you got all that, a bunch of fast moving weapons, just playing whack-a-mole at this point. And then you got the leader just being behind them and just supporting them, though not indirectly, but not directly, like with paint behind them. They're able to just kind of watch their backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're able to force a lot of people out of position with the bomb spam from Junior especially, and with just the aggression you can use with all three of those weapons. It enables leader really well. However, you don't have a ton of paint. I think your only painting weapon's really Junior there.
I mean, technically, Shot can paint, just not as well as Junior.
Oh, I forgot that it was a shot.
Yeah.
All right.
Never
mind. The paint issues are gone.
Bombs.
Yeah.
You got suction bombs, so you're fine.
Yeah.
But I think Clown Crown. Oh my god, I hate it. I think Clown Crown's comp. Try saying that 3 times fast. Is, to me personally, is more intriguing because he had a range blaster, a shot, a sniper, and I forgot the 4th weapon. It was. But that's very
shot, sniper rider. I'm drawing a blank, man. Oh, it's a bucket. V bucket.
Oh, V bucket. Yes, it's very interesting. So I think since I play both range and bucket, so what I can say is that what they kind of want to play around the range blaster. What I mean by that, they have bombs, they have the 70 and the 50 indirects. They do have the 1-2 shots, 72 damage from the shot. You do have the snipe riders. I think it does 62 damage, something like that. 62 or 65 on those two.
68 is what it was buffed to, I believe.
Okay, so it does 68. So you have all these kind of not exactly chip damage, but you have all these like sources of damage, and the range blaster can kind of thrive off of that, since you kind of want to kill steal in a way. You have like that's the best. You do want to kill steal because it does work. You have your wave breaker, you have your own suction bomb, you have your gigantic blast radius, not as big as like the Luna blaster or the good blaster, the S blast, but it is good enough to where if your teammate is in trouble, you're able to like, hey, I need help. Okay, there you go. That's 70. They're gone.
Yeah. Really just solid chip damage all around, and then the glue weapon that we love to see. Stick it on every comp. It works. It plays well. It's the shot. You love to see it, or you hate to see it, depending on who you are. It works really well. Brings it the whole comp together. Provides the paint. Provides a lot of mobility that the comp is kind of lacking otherwise.
Yeah, I feel like every comp, or every like not high, yeah, like kind of high level comp needs kind of like a Swiss Army knife weapon. they need that like kind of all arounder type of weapon. You know, your shots, your end zaps. I would even classify
I think
I
Splash is a
forgot
good one too.
Splash. Yeah, I know there's one non-shooter I'm thinking of. Forgot which one it was. Your buckets. You know, either one, the vanilla bucket or the tri slosher. You kind of want those weapons in the comp since they just provide a little bit of stability to it. Then you can like experiment all you want.
Yeah, I mean, you can either use it as an experiment, as a core, or you can use it just to throw it on and cover for a lot of weaknesses. As we see, ooh, a little bit of a change up coming in. We have a carbon roller now instead. That Koi Koi. Okay.
Yeah,
Looks like
so
we have a new player, substitution coming in.
Yeah, so that kind of changes things a little bit. So now they just
Yeah.
want to paint for the carbon, since the carbon very deadly if it's in range.
Yeah, but with those burst bombs, Carbon's also pretty self-sufficient. It can do a lot on its own, getting in basically entirely on its own. They're getting the trade on the Angsty there, and it's your range blaster gone. A lot of your, lethality or chip damage going out the window. Now it's the bucket on the back end here, trying to get a flank off, trying to just draw as much attention as possible. Drawing 2, getting the pick onto 1, staying alive really well. However, Clay goes down in front of the tower, unfortunately, to that jetpack, and Riptide is going to get almost the whole check going through, except Angsty coming through with that Zook is absolutely massive, getting the pick onto the tower rider and forcing the rest of Clown's Crowns all the way back into the flat. Now it's Clown's Crown's turn to get going here.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You see, they got the bucket and the shot in there, but unfortunately, the range blaster is down. They did get a pick though. But here we go. This is what we talking about earlier. Bats is very important as the shot does get one with the Zuka, and now Clown Crowns can I just relax for a little bit, get past the second checkpoint, which they do relatively easily. The blaster manages to get not the bucket. They do manage to get the carbon here, but it looks like Riptide is putting up a little bit of a defense here, though Cloud Crowns is all the way down to 17, which is a very good first push.
Yeah, all the way down to that third checkpoint as well is huge. That second one can sometimes be a little bit of a pain to get through, and people are still sitting way in the plat, just trying to draw as much attention as possible, delaying, the rest of Riptide getting back to mid and having to pop the pack here pretty early.
Oh,
Oh my god, what a pick from the Snipe Rider! Good stuff from Lukey there. I think it's Clay that goes down in the bottom left. However, just the amount of stall going on, trying to get back in as well from Clown's Crowns is working pretty well in their favor. The tower's only just being pushed back up now, and it's just resetting to neutral at this point. However, it's just the bucket left standing. They get the pick onto the Tri-Slosher right there, but Riptide does manage to get this tower to the first check. Can they push it up? Lukey gets another huge pick, but the bubble comes up just so they can grab the checkpoint.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea on the side of Riptide, because they know there's a range blaster, or there's a blaster in general, so they're probably gonna, shark around plat and just be annoying with tower, and it's gonna work. They do manage to get one, and Riptide has a chance to keep their push going because Clown Crowns is 2 down. With only the bucket and the shot left, there is a trade on the shot by the Tri-Slosher. Now Riptide has a chance to break past the second checkpoint. Like you said, is very hard to get through sometimes.
Yeah, and with the Junior getting so aggressive onto Clay here, what a
Junior
down as well. You're pushing way up into Snipe Riders, making their life as hard as possible. Not quite getting the pick, but you're allowing your team to push that tower up. Koi Koi is riding it, providing jumps as well, having to drop back to play for life, but getting a trade. Not quite getting much more, but Proteon on this Tri-Slosher gets another one. And it's just a 1v2 now in favor of Clown's Crowns, but Riptide is going to reset back to mid here to hopefully get some more stuff going.
Yeah, Riptide, they're just doing a good job of staying alive just long enough to get the jumps in, because by all rights, that push that Tri-Slosher should have not been there, but he did enough to manage to stay alive, get the jumps in, and make sure his team didn't lose that much of advantage. But right now, Clown Crowns with the cooler is ready. They do manage to get 2. The shot playing really aggressive, trying to find this leader. They do manage to find them and get No, it's just one. That's a delay to wipe. And now Clown Crowns has a chance to extend their lead, or even they can just hold for as long as possible because Riptide only has 45 seconds left to get through the checkpoint.
Yeah, and with two specials here, they can do a lot of stalling. The Range Blaster does go down, though, on Clown's Crowns, so they have to pop the strikes early just to stall to get the Range Blaster back. However, the Bucket's on a shark here. Viral manages to get Koi Koi. That's one. Can they get a second? Yes, they do. That Ice Launcher goes down, but the Zuko comes out, picks off Obscure. It's just Shiro left. Fighting 3, gets not quite one, almost gets angsty there, very close to it, and now it's all in Clown Crown's hands. It looks like they're just going to hold on to the tower and to this lead for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Riptide is going to have to try to do a last-second desperation push. It might work. The Tri-Slosher did get close, but that is going to be it. Clown Crowns with the Range Blaster supremacy does manage to hold on and make this set 1-0.
Strong work to them. They, played around their win conditions really, really well. That early push didn't really amount to much. They managed to shut that down from Riptide super early and get a lot of mileage off of it. Playing around bats like we were talking about earlier really well. Range Blaster getting some crucial picks as well. Really well played from them as we go on to Clam Blitz on Crab Leg Capital. Another bit of a tongue twister with these C's.
It's not that. There's a B in there.
There is, but, there's a few B's, there's a few C's. It gets a little bit tough when you add the L's as well and the A's. There's a good chunk of alliteration, at least.
Yeah, you'll get used to it. But anyways, Crab Lake, one of the better maps in this game. I feel like on Clam Blitz, there are 3 main ways you can push. You can go straight up, you can go through the right side grates, or you can do the block jump on the left. And honestly, all 3 of those ways are completely viable depending on the situation.
Yeah, I mean, the name of the game, though, is just trying to clear out that plat, which has a ton of solid places you can play, but they each come with their trade backs, which is why those 3 pushes are, all pretty viable. You could play on that grate on the top right, but you're not really able to affect the far left of your plat if you're not playing a super long range weapon like a leader, for example. You might be able to play on that top right plat with a bit of cover, but you're not able to affect the ramp or that top right great push. Again, unless you have a lot of range like a leader or sniper rider. But even then, you're at like a pretty significant height disadvantage, so you can get arc shot. You can kind of get hit from a bunch of other angles. I really enjoy this map as well. I think it's really good. It leans towards that long range that we've seen from both teams as well.
Wait, I forget. Is the bridge connected on this mode or no? Is it just
in top
Rainmaker?
mid?
Yes.
Don't remember.
Because I know on Rainmaker, I know on Rainmaker it is, but I don't know about the others.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Oh, because I know it's not on TC and Zones. I believe it is on Clam Blitz.
Okay, because if it is on Clam Blitz, that does make it so if Riptide does bring the leader back, the leader will have a much easier job since you're not able to affect all of their plat, but you are able to affect like the edges or like the middle of their plat.
Yeah, as we see, let's see what is brought.
It is connected.
Yeah,
Ooh, a tent.
A tent. I like that. You'd love to see the beacons and the vac as well. Super strong in this mode, enabling a lot of jumps, a lot of sustained aggression, and kind of a safeguard against a lot of spam if you want to push that power clam and kind of cheese it a little bit. As we get into the match, it looks like we're just going to be painting for specials here a little bit. Just trying to get these Zukas online for both teams. Riptide already has one up. And looks like this
there's a Zuka.
There's one Zuka and a trade already happening in the top right there from the carbon and shot. There's 2 carbons.
Oh, there are 2 carbons.
There are 2 carbons. That's cool.
I can agree.
I
can
didn't
agree. There
realize
are
that.
2 carbons. Yeah,
Wow,
but I feel like
I'm shocked.
yeah, I feel like on this map it is more neutral based. Like it is really hard to get a good push going. You know what I mean? Like it takes a while. Of course games can, if you get a really good pick, it can, snowball really quickly. But I feel like on this map specifically, getting a good push or getting a push at all does take a little bit, as Riptide is going to break the barrier first.
Yeah, it looks like they're only going to get the one pick as two members, Procyon and Obscure, go down, and the rest of Riptide has to sacrifice a good chunk of mid here, or else they risk their lives and a huge push coming in. But they don't. They play very safe here. They force a jump out as well from somebody getting super aggressive here on that Tenebrella. And they managed to hold strong just for the rest of the team to get back in. This Tenebrella getting pretty aggressive, though. Not quite going to find a pick or any realistic way in. And the Carbon is already way deep in enemy lines, popping this Zuka as well just to stay alive, trying to get another pick. Not quite going to do it, popping only that indirect hit for 60. And Angsty gets another pick on a Procyon. That's both Zukas down, and that's a lot of your frontline down if you're Riptide. However, Obscure gets a huge pick. That slows down a lot of Clown's Crown's push into the base. However, Viral on this tent is just going to do so much work with the shield, just pushing in through ramp, painting it, getting the back going as well. However, not quite is going to come off of it as Obscure gets another pick, and the rest of the team goes down as well. That's a delayed wipe, and Riptide hold on to this. Both power clumps might actually despawn here, and it looks like that will be the case. With Procyon having 7, there's a very good chance that Riptide can get another push going here.
Yeah, that was just really good defense from Riptide. Clown Crowns did have enough clams to take the lead, and they did have the vac and the tent. I think they had one Zuka at the ready, but it looks like they didn't use it all in sync in order to get something going. But now the Sniper 1v1, the pencil does manage to win, and now Clown Crowns is trying to play they're playing really good defense here. Now with only 2 minutes left, Riptide Clown Crowns has to get a push going, because they are only down by a power, so they only realistically need a power and one clan to take the lead. But it looks like the Sniper is gonna get another kill. The cooler is out for the side of Riptide, and now Clown Crowns has a chance to push up, probably use that vac and the tent to just force their way in. Now we know another Sniper 1v1, the pencil versus the leader. Let's see who's gonna win. Looks like they're both gonna retreat, knowing that it's safer just not to go. The tent goes down. Now Clown Crowns looks like their push has stopped prematurely, as the double Zuka is coming out for Riptide, and the Carbon does manage to get the ball, but he does go down. And now Clown Crowns, they're back to where they started about 45 seconds ago. They're pushed back. They have about enough. They don't have enough. Oh, they do have a power clan, my bad. They do have enough for power clan. Looks like they need to find at least 2 or 3 picks to get something going, as they do manage to get a trade-off. That's 2 down again for the side of Clown Crowns. And Riptide, they're just turtling, and it's working very effectively.
Yeah, you can get a lot of mileage off turtling with leader once you have lead here. It can get a ton of picks really well. Those mines and Wavebreaker really helping out, just preventing a lot of rushes onto the leader and onto your plat in general, playing really good defense. But a good defense is also the key to a great offense, as Riptide is pushing all the way back up, popping another Zuka here, popping both actually, not quite getting a pick, but forcing everybody behind cover and not disabling Clown.
Oh, that's the Carbon
going, and there's the Carbon coming in, and another power clan going. It's now down to 70 points for Riptide with 20 seconds remaining. However, there's a full wipeout with 2 members still up on Clown's Crowns. They're going to try and get moving as fast as possible, try and rush this, try and get moving, try and get some scores in. They only have 10 seconds and the rest of overtime. However, they do have a Zuka to work with here. It's all a question of, can they get some value out of it? If they do so, let's see, 1, 2,
that's 1.
3. They only get 1 pick. No. 1 pick can open up a lot here, as Viral gets another pick onto that top right. Really strong work from them. They can get a lot going here with 3 power clams. Can they get it moving? Viral's still on this top right, applying so much pressure. Power clams takes the lead and takes the set 2-0.
At the very last second, with about 15 seconds of overtime left, Clown Crowns just kind of forces their way in. They said, hey, we know you're turtling with the leader. It's not going to work. They got to pick early with the Zuka on the Carbon. That kind of took away some of Riptide's offensive power. And then the tent versus the leader matchup is terrible for leader. The tent can just sit behind it, and they popped it back at the right time, so the leader couldn't do much. And with the cooler at the top of the ramp, Clown Crown just kind of pushed their way through, and they managed to take the game and the set from Riptide.
Yeah, really solid defense for almost the entire match there from Riptide. Really like solidly played. A lot of huge picks from Obscure as well. Those leader picks really shutting down anything that Clown Crowns had going. However, it wasn't quite enough. Going four down at the end of the game, just enabling Clowns Crowns, giving them that one opportunity to just get a full push going. Well played to Riptide, but it wasn't quite enough. Clowns Crowns still continues this crazy run they've got going on. And they will play against the winner of Insecure Connection and Distortion, which I believe was Distortion. Yep, 2-0 in the semifinals.
Yeah, let's see. I hope that Clown Crowns can keep it going there. They have very interesting comps, very innovative. You know, I like Range Blaster, so I'm kind of, on their side a little bit. Not to be biased, but yeah, they have very interesting comps. The way that they use them is they use them to their advantage because a lot of teams they like meta. Like meta is not bad. I think using meta does help, but being able to find the tools to counter the meta will give Clown Crowns a very good chance of winning.
Yeah. With that being said, though, I believe that is going to be it from us. Uh, Topic. I've got a question for you. Where can everybody in chat find you?
Hello. I'm Topic. You can find me over on Twitter. I'm Toxic though. Follow my team, Shark Reef on Twitter as well. If you want to play Monster Hunter and lose like 30 hours, I have Steam. So yeah,
Oh my god.
that's yeah. I play a lot of Monster Hunter. So you could probably, if I'm not on Splatoon, I'm probably playing Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
Sig,
man.
where can I find you?
You can find me on just about any social media: Twitter, Twitch, Discord, YouTube, Blue Sky, even at Sigdokari, as you can see on screen there. It's same for every single media I have. And with that being said, thank y'all for tuning to us. We're gonna hand it off to our fellow commentators for top four and finals just here in a second.
Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the the commentary, the matchups. The stakes are getting a little bit higher as we enter the top four, and let's see who will be crowned the champions of Little Squid League 36.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to LSL. My name is Toma, and I'm joined by my great friend Pat today. How are you doing, Pat?
I am doing awesome, and it's been a blast watching these teams play for the LSL crown. This is LSL 36, and we are now in semi-finals. It's as intense as it can be. And yeah, I can't wait to see that. Melon Float, I have to notice, they've been undefeated in the ladder system. They got 7-0, and now they are on their way to the final. But 69 Super, they've only dropped a single game, I think, in this whole tournament. So single game, single set. So both of these teams are pretty good. They haven't faced each other yet. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they've been bringing to the table. Melon Float, like you said, currently undefeated as far as sets, but they are not undefeated game-wise. They did drop 3 games earlier in the latter phase of LSL. So they're here, they're strong, but they are not undefeatable. And 69 Slip is going to be trying to give them a run for their money, starting on Splat Zones Robo Ramen, one of our new stages this season. Tell me a little bit about what you think about this stage, Pat.
It's I don't know, because it's so complex and refreshing. I enjoy every game I've had on this stage, but I'm not sure if I can give like any deep analysis because it's still very new to me, and it feels like so novel. The way the map is, the way you can go under the map and surprise the opponent. Like there's lots of ways to play on this stage, and I think that's a big way of why it's so fun.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There's lots of fun things, and interesting things aside. Here we have a double splatling comp coming out on the side of 69 Sup with that Nautilus and that Hydra. Going along with that, more standard 96, or sorry, 52 Gal and Nzap as they get the early lead. They see them jump down here, get another pick there onto the blaster. They get an early, just kind of secure area right in front of here. This 52 Gal is putting in a lot of work, Pat.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. And honestly, a double splatling against a double Julie comp, I feel like this is pretty good for Super. But right now, Melon Fruit has something to say about it. It's their time to counterattack. Super, they got to 56, that's pretty good, but now it's all Melon Float. They paint the zone yellow, and that Gal is still there! Okay, that Gal is pincered and sent back to spawn. But now, it's on Melon Float to defend, and 69 Super already back on the attack.
Yeah, but they're doing a great job holding this zone and getting here forward. They find a pick onto the Hydra, poking up to 1 there on that snipe. Dropping down, of course, now and coming back around to this zone. They're going to get reset up to defend here up in the base of 69. So trying to find a pick onto that Nautilus. Looks like they're choosing not to drop to find it, instead moving to the other side just to see the Nautilus jumping out there. And now look at how far forward they are there, getting a nice trade there onto one member of 69 Sup. They don't have a lot of time to go back into this zone. The Nautilus looking to make something happen, but taken out. This could be GG territory.
This is... Wait, it's... They contest the zone! Super just in the nick of time, but not enough. And that blaster just went on a full rampage there and really took so much time and energy out of Super, giving the game number 1 to Melon Float.
Yeah, Melon Float was really, really good there once they established control in mid. And especially after you got that pick, you saw that 52 Gal player who was kind of the star player in the opening there, drop back down and go on that underneath path to try to come around and pincer them. And you had one member chase them and one member drop off that side to meet them so that they could pincer. Those callouts that you see from Melon Float, you know that coordination is really good, and that's exactly what we expect to see out of a team that's made it here to semifinals today.
Yeah, it's that team awareness, that team coordination, and like, unlike me, they know how to play this map. They know, okay, if they drop here, then we drop this side, and we're surrounding them. And if we're surrounding them, their splash wall is completely useless. We can just throw a bomb at it. So and that really paid off for Melon Float there. But 69 Super, they had such a strong opening. They looked so strong there. Honestly, it's just Melon Float managing to really push them away once they had control. If Super finds a map where they can get that control back, where they have a good plan to get back into the map, they have a very good fight for themselves, and they get to choose the map mode.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing what they're going to be going on to. So with our counter pick rules here today, you know, not that they won a map yet, but you can't go back to a mode that you've won or a map that you've won. It looks like they're actually going to be opting to go to Splat Zones on Mahi Mahi Resort. This map, you know, it was a while back ago, but still sort of recently that it got its renovation. It kind of opened up mid a lot more, definitely made it, I think, a more tolerable map for a lot of players that maybe had disliked it before. And this is another map that I think can work out well for that double splat link comp of theirs if they choose to bring it back. You put the Hydra kind of posted up on that little area in mid that's on the rise, and the Nautilus can really make use of its charge hold to swim through and kind of sneak around the mid area. And also just Brain is always gonna be amazing on splat zones. It just creates pressure, makes it easier to chip and find people. This could be a good opportunity for them.
Yeah, it's a wide open map that enables huge fights between the whole team, because there is like this open flat ground and the whole team has to fight around it. You have to go around your opponent, and you're gonna need your teammate to do that. I can't wait to see these two teams fight on it and really see both that Blaster on the side of Melon Float and that 52 gal on the side of Super. I want to see them duke it out.
Yeah, I think that'll be a fun matchup to see here. If they choose to bring those out, you know, you never know. We'll see if they do or if they have some change-ups loading into this game now. We're going to see very shortly what's going on. And on the side of Melon Flow, we do see the Blaster return with that double delete comp. And yeah, we still see more of the same. There's no change in these comps as they load out, ready to go. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen here in this opening, Pat.
There's a lot that could happen, and really that opening could decide a lot, because having a strong hold onto the center of the map can really slow down the opponent and give you such a big push. But right now, Super, again, with such a good opening, they are really pushing Melon Float back, and Melon Float, they're gonna need to find a way to get in again.
Yeah, and it looks like they're trying to on that right-hand side of the Reef Slider, gonna find its connection, and unfortunately, though, gonna be traded out. Two members down on both sides. The zone still ticking for 69 sub, but is gonna be contested by Melon Float, and just eventually recapped to 69 sub there in a great victory there on the zone, keeping it alive for them even longer, as you see this now ticking around the 40 range and still just going for them bad.
And it's been trade after trade. Sup wasn't winning these fights. It was just trades and trades, but the zone stayed blue. Really great management of the objective by them. And right now, the fight is still going on, and Soup is going to run with it. We are going to be 1-1. I don't see what Melon Float is going to do there.
No, they're going to have to try to dive it here, but not enough time left on the clock. That's going to be a 0 to 100 push. A very dominant game for 69 Swoop there. Wow, fantastic.
That's how you answer a defeat in game one.
Absolutely.
That's how you come back. Right now, both of these teams have 1 point on the board, and both of these teams got 100 to 0. Like, just got the zone and kept it for until they got the KO. So both of these teams can do pretty well, but neither can pick zones. So well done with zones here, Thomas. They both got their win on it. Now we have to see the other modes.
Yeah, we're not going to zones, and also we can't go back to Robo Ramen, so we won't be seeing Rainmaker Robo Ramen coming out here. They're going to be dipping their toes into a new map, a new mode. Definitely going to be some experimentation going on here. And, you know, I haven't really been able to follow too closely these teams' runs throughout the bracket here to see what kind of modes they favor. But Melon Float does have that blaster, which makes me think a little bit, like may we be looking at potentially a tower control game where that blaster can really potentially shine for them.
That's a good suggestion, to be honest. And with how good that blaster has been in his 2 games, honestly, and with how good a blaster is on a good tower control map, we can expect that. But I mean, it depends on Melon Float. Right now, we're gonna wait on what they got. But yeah, these 2 games went like, oh, we're going to Clam Blitz and Scourge Gorge.
Oh, that is I don't know, is that their pick? I'm in their chat. I don't see where they said that unless I'm crazy. But if they do that, that is a fascinating choice that I didn't expect to come out. But it's a pretty classic map mode, Pat. It's tried and true. Teams know how to run it. It's been around since the beginning of Splatoon 3, and it's really gonna test their ability to be able to hold down a lot of space while they're making those pushes. Because if you don't get that space locked down, you can kind of run up and kind of just dunk a clam. But if you don't stop them from just dropping in on you on the defense, then you may be in for a little bit of rough time when finding those sustained pushes.
Yeah, Melon Float, they're gonna need to counter or go around that Hydra, because the Hydra in position near the basket on the perch, looking at you, you can't attack until the Hydra is down or away or busy with something else. And Melon Float, if they want to win this one, I'm ready to believe that they're good on Scourge Gorge Clam Blitz, but they need to get rid of that Hydra.
Yeah, it looks like they are. No, you know what? I see. They were probably in charge of the room. That's why I didn't see it in their chat. The other team was like, I'm like, where is it? I'm like, this is crazy. It looks like they are sticking these same comps coming out. If it's not broke, Pat, why fix it? Both these teams have seen incredible games so far within this set, and they just want to keep that momentum going for them at the moment. But they're going to be out here fighting this opening battle. I always say this, Pat, it's a little bit of team deathmatch until you find the right control, the right picks. You've got that clam economy built up, and right now it's going in 69 subs favor.
Yeah, and Toma, we got a small adjustment on the side of Melon Float. They replaced the blue dapple with the new Emperor Julies, and that curling bone can be pretty useful if you want to rush to the basket. But right now, as you said, it's all Soup, and Soup is getting 50 points in the opening, but now they are all wiped out, and Melon Float is going to be their turn to paint mid, assemble their push, and they're running to the basket right away. They're not wasting any time. They already are building that super clam, and they want to get in with the crab tank to protect them, Toma.
Yeah, that was huge there, and it looks like this dually rolling up here doesn't quite have any specials online to clear that space. The 52 trying to fight it there, but isn't unfortunately able to add anything to that push. But 53 to 57, still anyone's game, and you're absolutely right. I didn't even notice the change onto those Amperi dualies, and we saw that splashdown come in for the defense for them, which is just huge there to clear space out, and it can be really dangerous, especially if you can get it up and get those fists onto that raised part of the platform to try to find a splat. Right now, though, we're still just stuck in that neutral game once again until we build the space to push.
Yeah, and it's pretty much even, honestly, because there's 3 minutes left. One of these teams is going to score again, and these teams are just one super clam and a few clams away from getting the lead or extending it. And right now we are just fighting for mid. Lots of mid is blue, but Melon Float is already back on the attack, and they have such an aggressive counter that I expect to see a lot of fireworks coming, but they have to contend with these 2 splatlings that are constantly able to punish any push that they could have.
Yeah, they're just so great at holding down space, and if you don't really have a special out or you've got something to move them, you might have a really hard time, especially against the Hydra in particular with so much range, getting it out of the way, because if you move up on it, it's just going to mow you down. And right now they're burning through that Booyah Bomb to just force Melon Float back and they're caught down there in that pit, but unfortunately the Nautilus goes down, and we see that maybe Melon Float might be able to make some space off of that, but they've got to really do something about this 52 gal. It's just holding space up here in mid. You can't really move around until you can get that pick onto them.
Melon Float, they're fighting well, they're getting picks, but they're struggling to capitalize on this pick to move forward. But right now they're trying to dash for the basket. It's not going... Oh wait, it might well work! They at least get the picks, they at least get control. And they're pushing Super under their basket, but they don't have any clams. You need clams if you want to get in. Do they have a pity clam at the ready though?
Doesn't look like they do. I think they might have picked it up for the previous push going in, so they've got to really build that up, because you said, you're right. You can get up here, but if you don't have the clams to push, it's kind of a little bit of wasted time. The Dooley's looking to make something happen here, but unfortunately goes down in the splashdown. The fists go off and find one, but now you've got Melon Float left out in that still awkward spot where they're up here and they've got this space, but there's just no clams on the field for them.
Melon Float playing the fighting game and the space control game so well, but you need to have the clam, and they finally managed to open the basket. Just a few more clams and they take the lead, Thomas, with just less than a minute left on the clock. It looks like Melon Float is going to take the lead, but also take a wipeout, go back to spawn, and now it's Sup's turn to get in, and they already have a super clam.
Yeah, that full wipe situation is really dangerous. You see the jump coming in. They need to look to try to add that power clam, but unfortunately they are not able to. Pat, that basket is going to close. They still have a clam online, so they have a one more chance to try to attempt this, as we are ticking down, getting close to that overtime situation. They need to flush that 52 gal out, and they do, to try to get some space going. Cooler is online for them, so they've got that ready for the push, but they need to find, just a little bit more to get in here. This clam is really far back at the moment, and they've already lost their Nautilus player. Can't afford to go too many more down there in the Hydra. This could be a huge pick for Melon Float coming in here, and it looks like they're just running out of time. Just the 52 up here. The ball is down. They have nothing to add to this basket, Pat, and it looks like that is going to be the game for Melon Float.
Very nice second push by Melon Float, and Soup so close, so close. Both teams got their two big pushes. It's just that Soup a bit too hasty in their second counter push, and got punished for it. And then that over time, they were like slow to push forward, but Melon Float really taking control of that game and being able to push forward and to stay under the opponent basket even without the clam gave so much room to Melon Float, so that the rest of the team could get the clams, prepare the push, paint the rest of the map, and Melon Float really bought themselves so much time and so much clams thanks to that. And that's a 2-1, 69 Soup. They're not so far behind, and we're going to their counter pick now.
Yeah, interested to see what they're going to be bringing out here. They have one more chance to make sure to stay alive here. And we saw, at the beginning, we saw two Splat Zones games that were 0 to 100s. Good fights were happening, but it was pretty one-sided in both of those matches. And you can't say the same about that Clam Blitz game on Scorch Gorge. It was back and forth the entire time. And so now they're going to be looking, maybe what kind of map can they be looking at to try to create more of those dominant situations. They can't go back to Splat Zones. They can't go back to Mahi. That's the two rules that they've got going in. And it looks like they're going to be just debating that right now at that moment, really trying to think about what looks good for those Splatlings. And what looks great for Splatlings, Pat? Crableg Clamblets.
Could be. But this is why I prefer best of 5 so much more, because these first 2 games, it's the teams surprising each other, showing, okay, we're very good here, and we take the control, and you don't know what's just happened. And then in game 3, we see what happens when these 2 teams know what the other is about, when they know what the other strategy is, what their dynamic is. And now we see much more even games. And again, Super, now they know, okay, on Crab Leg, open spaces, or Splatlings, they are going to have a field day, and Melon Float, they know that's Soup's plan. So they are probably discussing right now, how do we counter that?
Yeah, and I think the big thing that you've got to think about here, right? These Splatlings, they're going to love to walk across those open grates, but one thing they're going to have to be really careful about is if they don't have full attention on that blaster at all times, they can come underneath those grates and poke them really, really easily. And it can be very disruptive to a backline trying to sit up and stay holding space. So they've really got to make sure that they're focusing on that kind of lockout scenario when going for a map like this, especially one that, Pat, this is usually a very, neutral heavy map.
Yeah. Yeah, Super, they're going to need to be patient. They're going to need to know that there isn't a blaster under them when they go above these grates. If they take their time, paint the map, make sure they check every corner and that there is no flank, they can slowly get more position. But we'll see what happens right here, right now.
Yeah, I'm so ready to see this going into this game. We see those dualies. I think those are the Empires coming back out. We still see the 52-96 or 52 in Zap and the 2 Splatlings coming out. Like I said again, just not broke, don't fix it. As these teams start to go out here into mid, we've got this 52 gal trying to hold as much space in mid as it has been on every opening. 69 Sup has had a great opening every single game so far, and they're really trying to keep that up. You see all this blue, the Nautilus already moving forward, trying to see if they can find one, but being forced back by that. Julie's just barely staying alive there. Great survivability on them, but really just no picks yet to be able to take a whole lot of space.
Yeah, we are still waiting on some space, and right now 2 down on Melon Float. 69 Sup is looking to get more there. 3 down, but they have lots of clams too. They just need to collect them onto a single person so that they can get that push. And with a Booyah Bomb right there, Kisan is getting splatted on the grates. Oh, and it's 3 down right now. Melon Float is going to get a free counter attack from that.
And this map can change in such a blink of the eye. You see how far forward Melon Float is ready to go now. They've got this crab on the side moving in. They don't have a power clam quite yet, but they do have enough to make one. The blaster goes down there on the side, and now just leaving this, the power clam is made, but it looks like this dually is going to have a little bit of difficulty getting up there, and then it gets right up there for free, and is going to be out here holding the space up his ledge, looking up at that Splatling, but unfortunately not able to make too much out of it. The power clam goes in, it doesn't connect to the basket, which is going to be a huge point of defense there for 69 Sup to stay alive. Getting from 69 to 40 or 65 to 45 on an opening push, that would have been a huge difference. So it's great that stopped there for them.
Yes, 69 Sup can breathe a little bit and maybe prepare a push again, but that was a big counter push by Melon Float, and right now they have gotten a lot, and they haven't conceded that much territory. It's sorry. 69. Oh, okay. They get a wipeout right now, and they have a clams at the ready. Just the super clam though, so that's going to be an opening gun of the basket, but they need to go back to get the other clams. The PD clam is going to go right in there, giving them the lead, and Melon Float are now fighting to push 69 Sup away, and they are getting it. It's just, oh wait, they're still in there. Okay, now they recognize the push is over, and 69 Sup, they're back in control of mid, so they got the lead, and they still have mid, Thomas.
Yeah, look here, and then I was just about to say they're 1 away from making the power, and they make it right before exploding. So they're really not going to want to give up too much space. They do have to watch out because they are in man disadvantage, and they find the splat onto the power clam. But look here, the Splatling able to hold great space. The 52 just taking these excellent fights. They've got 2 down now on Melon Float, just turning this situation on its head as soon as it was flipped on them. And now it's all 69 Sup space to move once again here. They just need to get something going. going, watch out for that splashdown so they don't go down. The splashdown user dies in the process. Now they've got Whale out. They've got a Booyah potentially in the back from the Hydra to use, which is coming out now. This is their opportunity to potentially make another push, but unfortunately that blaster shuts down the Inzap.
Yeah, 69. They struggled at the start of that game, but now they're doing whatever they want on this map. And as I said this, it looks like that they have to move back as Melon Float is pushing again. They have the Super Clam at the ready, and that blaster is right under the platform, just maintaining the aggression. Oh, but 69 just answers and pushes them back to spawn.
Huge move there, and now it's going to be Melon Float's opportunity to make a move. These Hydras, these backlines really just need to try to space them out. They need to make sure that this Power Clam can't get connected to the basket, and they're doing a great job, and it even moved that Power Clam into a much more awkward position, and that's the full wipeout, Pat. There is not a lot of time left on the on this clock. Melon Float, now with their 2 Power Clams dying, are going to have to look to make a new one to be able to trigger overtime. All of the pressure is on them to make this play. All 69 Sub has to do is hold them out and stall this neutral game out.
But they are struggling just to get out of their platform. Finally, they're able to get a few picks, go forward, but they have to rush to get the clams. Their Julius have 5 clams, they need 3 more, and you need to pass this clam fast. And now they get splatted. That's going to be game number 4. And you know what that means, Stella.
We're going to a game and Pat in semifinals here. This was huge. That hold from 69 Sub when all those Power Clams are coming in on their ramp. That situation, that could have ended it. That could have ended their run right there and then. But they were able to be cool under pressure, really use just the high fire rate of those Splatlings to hold space. And that's what those weapons do so well. That's why this was such a great counter pick for them. So now though, it's Melon Float. The power's in Melon Float's hands to make this final counter pick, and they've got to go to a map that they know they can win.
They have to go to one of the maps that we haven't seen yet, and they can't pick zones or Clam Blitz, so it's either Rainmaker or Tower Control.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which one comes out. You like you said, I have to note the counter picking of this. It's not often that you see people counter pick the mode they just lost, and 69 Sub has done it both times.
Yeah, and
it
works.
Yeah, they won both of their counter picks, so they know what they're doing here, and now they're forcing Melon Float into a little bit of, new territory. They're like, hey, we're not going to give you some time to experiment with Rainmaker or Tower Control. You're going to have to go into one of them blind on game 5 and just hope that you have what it takes to beat us.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Melon Float go with a Rainmaker, because they have no backline. They are so aggressive, so fast in how they play with the double Julies. That kind of looking for the splats is the kind of things that you want in a Rainmaker game. I think it would work well for them.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, and out of the Rainmaker games that they have, I'm trying to look at our list that we've got here. Like Museum Rainmaker is always a classic that they could potentially go to. It's worked out for them well. They can't go to Robo. I believe they can't go to Scorch as well. So those two options are out of the pool for them. There's always the classic Rainmaker Undertow, but then there's also always the classic that they may just pick Power Control on us. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen here, but there's so much opportunity. The map list is huge. We have 8 modes on every single or 8 maps on every single mode. There's a lot of freedom for choice here, and I definitely agree that I think they're going to want to play something where they can send those front lines forward and they don't have to worry too much about their lack of range, especially against that Hydra, because if they can get them into kind of a lockout territory, that's gonna be what they want.
Yeah, that's what they want, and right now, Melon Float, they know their tournament life is on the line. They're taking their sweet time discussing, okay, where do we go next? How do we beat these guys? They always come back and get us back. I mean, Melon Float, at least they warm up faster to the mode than 69 Soup because they always win the first game. And they have the advantage that neither team has beaten the other on their counterpick yet. 69 Soup, they need to win Melon Float on their counterpick. So if Melon Float is just comfortable with the map mode, they can be pretty happy probably.
Yeah, and right now we see in the classic style of low level tournaments, we see some floundering around, I will say, because Flounder is not in the map pool and it was asked about. Counter picks happening in here. They wanted to go to Mako Mart clams, but can't go Clam Blitz. Mako Mart, I think, is a map that could work well for them. So maybe, we might see Mako TC potentially coming out here. Mako, I think, is one of they can sit under those ledges. They can go run up on that spot lane, get behind. There's a lot of things that they could do there. I think it opens a lot of opportunities for them. As we see, they're going to cancel. Oh, okay. I don't even I'm reading this chat. They're starting the match. They're not supposed to be starting the match. They said they're going to Man, you know how it goes. You know how it goes, Pat.
This is why I only do commentating and I never do TOing, because your job looks so hard.
I was like, maybe if I have the chat up, I'll get to see it like just even a few seconds before Jub flashes it on the screen, because Jub is very fast. We love Jub here, everybody. Shout out to Jub, our streamer. Yeah. Jub is the best, is awesome, made all of these graphics. We love Jub. It's awesome.
Yes. Thank you, Jub.
And it looks like they're going to be going in on Rainmaker Humpback as their choice. And that looks like, hopefully, that they're choosing. And that is a map where, I think you can really send your front lines forward there. You can run really fast with it. And you don't have to worry too much about that kind of range, because if you can get up there, get in there, splat that Hydra, by the time the Hydra respawns, you've probably scored like 20 to 25 more points. Like,
yeah.
If not more. You may have knocked
it's
out.
About can Melon Float just splat that Hydra, throw a curling across the street, and just get as many points as they can? Or can 69 Sip put that Hydra in position on the street and just get the KO from it? That's the question. Which team does that first is going to get the game.
Yeah, and that's, it's kind of, they like Scorch Gorge. Obviously, just like Scorch Gorge on Rainmaker, even though they played Clam Blitz, it's very much a hold forward map. It's get as far into people's face as you can. It can work out well for them. We saw it earlier in the tournament work out for who was it that was right before this? I think it was Fool's Gold. That just ran forward with it and like totally flipped a game on its head in a matter of seconds. Every pick matters on this map. You've got to be super careful the way that you play, especially in disadvantage. You can't be dropping and taking unnecessary risks, because these points just fly by.
Oh yeah, they fly so fast, but they fly fast both ways, so do not blink, because a single fight, a single bomb could just swing 50 points in a split second. And the Dapples are back.
The Dapples are back, and we still see the same pump coming out on the side of 69 Sup. No changes there as we load out to see who's going to get the early pop onto this Rainmaker. It looks like 69 Sup there going for it really strong. All that blue laid down across the map, and they're wasting no time sitting there trying to see if they can find some picks coming in there, getting one, almost finding one on the dualies, forcing them to back up there. And they've got early control of that Rainmaker as well, looking to make an early dunk, but they're spending a lot of time firing behind them. Finally able to go forward. Down! This is huge to Pat.
That crab tank, if they manage to get that crab tank off, and they do, they're gonna score a lot of points. Very fight stomach. Oh, that's countered. Close enough. 42 is not too bad considering what 69 Sup was able to do. Melon Float, limiting the damage, saving what they can save, and now they have the Rainmaker. They are heading straight to that checkpoint.
We've got 3 down on 69 sub. There you go. Wipeout, Pat. Like we said, this can flip on its head in a moment. They've got to be really careful here. The Hydra can be key to their defense, but they have to make sure not to drop, not to panic too much. A lead may flip here, but not to rush too much into it. They need to just flush Melon Float out here safely. They've got the stop. They still have plenty of time on the clock to come back. They have to make sure not to feed into this and make sure that they don't just throw the game here, and they're doing a great job at that right now.
And it's just a minute and a half on both of these teams. I've given pretty much both a wipeout and a crazy push, and 69 sub are back on the attack. They don't have a checkpoint to contend with, so now things are going to go even faster than they were. But Kisan has to drop away, get the Rainmaker at least back to mid, and that Rainmaker is just fighting for its life.
Yeah, now they need to move here on that right-hand side. They need to find out those dualies. They get marked and found out there. That's huge for them, but still a lot of ground to cover forward here. This Nautilus doing a great job at trying to gain some of it, but they need just a little bit more. And this Rainmaker needs to move forward here on this edge. You see that they're taking a long time. They're getting some picks, but not making any ground off it. And every time that they get a pick and they're waiting, Pat, they're letting members of Melon Float respawn. Like you see now those Devils coming in with that Reef Slider, finding a pick, and that is the full wipe gonna allow Melon Float back into mid.
That Reef Slider was the final nail in the coffin of that push. As you said, it can pay off to be very patient in Rainmaker, but there, Melon Float was getting the advantage. The more 69 sub was waiting, and 69 sub, they're gonna need to get a few extra picks if they want to get that lead back, because right now Melon Float has the points down to 10, and right now Melon Float are getting more picks. That's a delayed wipe onto 69 sub, and Melon Float are back on the attack, back on the street, and Teto looking to just stop things with the Nautilus, but right now, oh, I see a Biker Jelly passing by too.
Oh, we love the Biker Jelly, and right now, not to be distracted by the Biker Jelly, they're gonna come in here and sweep up Clean Melon Float out of their elbow, but they are 2 down. They gotta play this carefully here, and there's the Blaster behind them, just dipping and dodge rolling there, trying to find some picks, but unfortunately gonna go down. Try to make a play there, sometimes it just doesn't come together. That Rainmaker gonna reset back to mid, and now everybody's gonna have to move back there to try to find that pop, which very fast goes to Melon Float, but that Nautilus says, I'm gonna turn around, I saw you. Gets a nice pick there. This is an opportunity for 69 sub to get something going, but they really need to get this space forward. You see that Rainmaker there for a split second was the furthest person up on their team, got poked by that Blaster, and they quickly realized they needed to back up. This is just these kinds of fights right now are costing them a little bit of time, and especially with this Crab coming out too. Look how far back you've pushed this Rainmaker, just killing time off that clock for them to push, and with 30 seconds left, there isn't going to be many opportunities to push as that Blaster comes around and finds the full wipe onto them again. This could be scary if they take it up here on this right-hand side too, because this is definitely not a position that you want the Rainmaker to end up in if you are 69 sub and they don't have a lot of time to stop it and get it across the map.
And Melon Float right now putting the Rainmaker in such an awkward state, and they're going for the KO. Okay, they get punished, but it's an all-out fight for the Rainmaker right now. 69 sub, they need to get that pop now, and they're going to need a monster overtime push, and that 52, shocking, seals the deal. Melon Float is making it to LSL Finals.
Yeah, great shark there for them. They really have to, watch out for those kind of sneaky plays when you're in overtime. You can't let a single thing slip past you. Any amount of, team or other enemy ink that's down there, you need to paint it. You need to go over it. You need to find information. And unfortunately, that does cost games, that cost sets. And that's going to be Melon Float moving on to Grand Finals.
Yeah, that was honestly Melon Float on that last game. Whenever they were attacking, they were making sure that things were going fast. And whenever 69's up, we're trying to attack, Melon would activate the crab tank and slow everything down. They controlled the pace of the game, and it showed. It paid off for them.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to be, I don't even think we're going to be taking a break here. We're going to be going into Grands, and we've got Melon Float, who we just saw, versus Clown's Crowns, who we saw just two sets ago on stream. They 2-0'd Riptide on stream, and now they're going to be coming back here, making their opportunity to try to take it all. This is where it all goes down, starting on Splat Zones, Barnacle, and Dime.
Yeah, and by the way, Clown's Crowns, they didn't lose a set either, Thomas. They went 5-0 into the ladder bracket, and since then they have really beaten everybody into the final bracket 2-0 and 2-0. Just to get in there. Wait, I have to refresh Battlefy. How much did they do against Distortion?
Yeah, it looks like they have dropped one game total this tournament, and that was 2 Distortion in the previous round in semifinals. Melon Float is coming here also on an undefeated record, but they've dropped 5 total games throughout this tournament so far. So you are having 2 highly contested teams here that are just they're so strong. They've definitely shown why they deserve to be here, but of course there can only be one champion of LSL 36, and we are going to be finding out who it is pretty soon.
Pretty soon indeed, and we're going to start on a map you love, Tom. It's Barnacle and Dime.
Yeah, I know. A beloved mutual friend of ours might say that it should have an I. They're wrong. Falco Flyer, if you're watching this, sorry. It is Barnacle with an A. It is spelled correctly on our stream. Thank you, Jub. You're the best MVP right now. But this is a fun one. I really like to see this map played out. There's so many ways that you can just see lots of fun different weapons, right? Because there's always going to be shooters, right? Always going to be shooters. This is Splatoon. It's a shooter game. It's inevitable. Someone is going to play shot. They're going to have a Zuka probably most of the time. Or 52 or whatever other common shooter you want to see. InZap for cooler. All the time. We see it all the time. But these maps also, or this map in particular, lends itself well to, I think, a number of other non-shooter options. I think that when you're poking around these stack areas around the mid or up and over those walls, it lends itself well to a lot of AoE type weapons. So looking at, your Tri-Slosher, maybe you want to run a Tri-Slosher Nouveau instead of an InZap for your cooler. It's got a nice fizzy bomb to work with. You could potentially be using machine. You can use blasters. We see the blaster coming out from Melon. Anyways, so we know that they already have good access to that AoE. I don't quite remember what was run on the side of Clown's Crowns, but I think they had a slosher, unless that was Riptide. So we do see potentially maybe some AoE on their team as well that can help them out here.
Yeah, I'm a goldfish. I have no memory except for the last set. So I remember what Melon Float is running. I feel like if Clown's Crowns have some range on themselves, have a backlines, that could help them, especially on Barnacle and Dime. But that being said, Melon Float, they've shown that they don't mind that much going against the backline, that they are able to cut the distance and get in, especially with that 52 guy putting up a wall and not minding your range, or that blaster just appearing out of nowhere and getting you from that. So it's going to be an interesting game and a great way. I always think that zones, you can say whatever you want, but like it's a great mode to see what a team is about, because you're going to see how a team wants to play, because once you have the zone painted, everybody can do whatever they want. So you can see the whole team doing what they want.
Yeah, just a second. On the back end here, we had a little bit of a Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 2, Splatoon 3. It happened in all the games. This is Nintendo. Sometimes there's connection issues that happen. So it looks like on the back end, our room exploded a little bit. So
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna let them get back into it. Although it looks like they like loaded into the game because they said
Mhm.
don't change your weapons when we make this. So I think that they started. So, but we have no clue on our end what they started with.
Okay. Well, stay tuned.
Gosh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. It happens though, and we'll get it back in there. But I guess to talk a little bit more about it, about what we may see here, about just in general, these two teams, right? Because I do remember we obviously saw the incredible forward power that came from Melon Float in the last game, the last set. Clowns Crowns, though, they're definitely a really aggressive team as well. Like I said, I don't remember their specific comp, but I can tell you I do remember because I was in VC telling Rob, like, listen, I put all of my channel points on your boys from Riptide. And I'm like, okay, are they gonna disappoint me? And then they were doing really good. I was like, yes, let's go. And then I just saw the most insane TC ink blot push from Clowns Crowns, and I was like, oh no, it's Jover. It's like it's so Jover because they were able to get so far forward in the opponent's base, get up in those bats, and the way they held space there just didn't let up. I know this team has got a lot of regression too, and we actually see a tent umbrella coming out from them. I don't remember that coming out. This is a whole change in comp from anything that we've seen from I think either team in the past. What in the two tents? Actually, this is.
What? Okay, we're going to see tent versus tent, and it's two different tents too, Thomas. We don't see that open right now, and yeah, it's a completely different Melon Float, and it looks like Clowns Crown are getting the best of them in this first team fight. They're going to take a lot of space right there, and if they can manage to put that pencil in position, they have. Oh, what's happening? They're still fighting.
The Zuka shot onto the reef slider. That was so. I mean, it's unfortunate for the reef slider, but that was such a clean Zuka shot. That was huge for them. And now look at the space that they've got. They've got the back out to try to stop this jet too. This could be huge for them, cause some issues, but they do have to watch out for the tent that just kind of like came into their zone. Unfortunately, does go down though, and it looks like Melon Float's in a little bit of a stagger path.
A stagger, and they have just 30 points to get back in there, get back on the zone. Clowns Crowns are clowning on them. I almost said it right. But right now, Melon Float is finally back onto the zone. They get 2 picks. They just need to paint as fast as they can. They apply that penalty. They can breathe a little, resource themselves, regroup, and prepare a good hold. But Crowns are back in control and right now shoot down onto Melon Float. The Clowns are not stopping.
The penalty was huge for them, but yeah, Clowns have wasted no time in really retaking that. I don't think we saw any additional score coming out from Melon Float because Crowns was so fast to get back out there, and they just hold down so much space. Melon Float looks like they may be able to potentially cap here again thanks to the help of the tent, but no, maybe not quite. There it goes, finally. I was like, it looks like it's gonna tilt any second, but again, look how Crowns is just here. Ready to go immediately. Again, that shot is already there, has the Zuka up, trying to find the ball point. Unfortunately, doesn't. Is just going to sneak around on them instead and be like, hey, my special missed you. I'm just going to shoot you with my gun. Please understand. And now they've got this space once again, and this Snipe Rider, huge sight lines here. Why is going to be like holding down just so much space, so much ink as well. If you are Melon Float, you really got to get rid of them before you're able to take control of this zone. And this Tent Umbrella is definitely a good option for trying to do that, but is going to have to turn around for the Carbon Roller trying to find it.
And with a Tacticular plus some beacons, the Clown Crowns, they're very happy with taking trades. They want all these fights to happen, and crushed by the tent there, but Melon Float back in control, but they only have the doubles left standing. Clown Crowns, they take their time, they take the zone back, and now they are again keeping at that penalty. They have so much of it, but they're very much fine. Taking their time and taking the zone.
This has been so bizarre. I was like, I'm not even taking, like, what? What is happening this game, Pat? This is like,
I don't know.
I've not seen anything like this. Melon Float now finally though with some space to work with, but they've got to flush out this side area, and the Azuka gonna make it hard with the 10 of their own, finding the trade onto them. 2 down on both sides. Azuka coming out but taken down, unfortunately. This may be Melon Float's real big opportunity here to potentially find the lead, but they've really got to get that space forward, and they're turning around to paint this zone instead of going into the base of Clown's Crowns. That may give Clown's Crowns an opportunity to take some space up here and try to get back out, especially if they have a vac. We know how Vac Cheese is. This could be a big opportunity for it to cap that zone, and they take 2 down. Doesn't find the cap because it lands on the side pad. It doesn't paint the zone. Melon Float is able to hold it.
Oh,
my god.
Just a few pixels above the zones. I'm not painting it.
The
And
Vac Cheese failed. Oh my gosh. You hate to see it if you're Clown's Crowns. What the... Pat, I'm sorry. What an incredible job. That's not even where the eye goes.
I love you, Jub.
It goes at the second age.
Oh, so you know where the eye goes. So that's so the right way to spell it, as Thomas says, is always better.
I am crying. This has been okay. Now we're beer nickel in clam or. This is the most interesting thing I think I've ever commentated in my life. But I am interested to see, Burnicle aside, where they're going to be going next, Pat. And right now it looks like, so they can counterpick. They asked, can we counterpick zones? So maybe we're going to see the same thing where we're counterpicking to the mode we just lost. And honestly, Pat, I wouldn't blame them. They almost just took that. They literally almost took that game. And I think that if that vac had actually landed on the zone, you may have seen a different story play out. And they're going to be going to Mahi zones. So going back, we've seen them. Didn't we see them play this last set? I think we did. Or maybe it was the set before that. I'm not crazy. I remember seeing
we saw 69 sub beat Melon Float with 100-0 on Mahi zones.
So if Clown's Crowns was watching, maybe they knew. And I mean, it's a good pick. I mean, I think that their comp is going to work out really, really well there if they choose to bring it back. And I think that they've got so much open space to work there. They've got that pencil that can hold down it. You know, you can play that even further back and just kind of keep tapping the zone forever and never ever let it go. I mean, that's what I do when I play pencil. I'm like, hi, this zone is mine. You can't touch it. I'm going to paint it forever. You may have killed 3 of my teammates, but I'm out painting all 4 of you. And that's kind of the strategy that they need to go. They just need to throw as much paint down as possible because, I mean, that's what worked for them. They were doing it so well. You saw how fast they came in and the painting power that they'd come in every time that they did lose the zone.
Yeah, and as you said, the Clown's Crowns, they had the zone and they had so much control for so much of the game until Melon Float managed to get that comeback and thankfully keep that comeback because of the vacuum not working properly. Vacuum malfunctions, like be careful about your vacuum. And right there, if Clown's Crowns just repeat what they did, we just get a single extra fight or a single extra vacuum, they win this game. So going back to zones is a very, very good choice for them.
Yeah, they're going to be seeing let's see if there is any changes. I think that their comp works really well. I'm going to see, are we going to keep seeing Tent? We do see Tent come out. I mean, it's a good zones weapon. Works out well, and we still, there it is. We're going to see it more of the same coming out from them. Were the Dapples there last? I can't even remember. I don't think they were double bullies, were they? We saw it, obviously, the set before, but I don't remember if it was there last game.
I don't think there were Dapples. There was a ballpoint that is now a splatter shot, I believe. I can't remember what they were playing, but right now Melon Float is taking bad control over the zone. Oh, and the carbon fails that lunge, fails that pick, and gets picked themselves. It's a tough one right now for Clown's Crowns. The beacons are not working properly, and Melon Float is just making points on the zone.
Yeah, they're getting these picks. They are winning these fights pretty cleanly when they come in, and that's kind of the real important thing here. They don't want to trade. They don't want to go down. This zone can flip really fast. It's pretty small, so they want to make sure they're taking those clean fights and not dying on the zone. And that's exactly what they are doing here, Pat. You got two specials on the side of Clown's Crowns ready to go. Unfortunately, that pencil dropping. I don't know if they meant to, and would be easily picked. Zuka's come out left and right, do find some picks, but the Reef Slider helps keep zone, and as Zuka picks the back, as now Melon Float able to cap here, and they're able to take that game despite it capping for Clown's Crowns there as soon as the timer buzzed. Huge dominant game there for Melon Float, and now, Pat, this leaves Clown's Crowns in some tricky territory because if they want to take LSL, they've got to reverse sweep.
Right now, it feels like Melon Float has them figured out. It took them 4 minutes to, okay, how do we beat these guys? And they got Barnacle and Dime by almost nothing, and then they got that Mahi game. Just outplaying them every step. It was destroying the beacon and getting the jump out of it. It was throwing the Zuka on the vacuum when the vacuum was looking in the wrong direction. Melon Float just played this game clean. They won this so hard. And Clown's Crowns, I mean, they can still pick splat zones, but don't. At this point, you have to mix things up.
Yeah, no, I don't think you go zones after losing it twice. They're gonna be trying to figure it out, seeing what they're gonna go for here, And I'm interested, right? I know that their tower control game was strong. I remember that from that set, and it's a game we haven't seen Melon Float on, right? We didn't get to see it last set, and so that means the Clown's Crowns didn't get to see it either, because even if they did watch the stream and thought, hey, maybe Mahi Zones is our ticket to getting a game, we don't know how Rain or TC will go. I think right now, with their current comps at least, I wouldn't want to really pick Rainmaker against a team like Melon Float because I'm afraid that they're going to run me down, which is exactly what they just did to their opponents in the previous round. So I'm kind of looking at TC or Clan Blitz if I'm them.
And I'm really impressed by Melon Float because they had a completely different dynamic against 69 Sup in semis. It's like it's a different team that's now in finals, and they're also as good as they were in semis. But here we go, tower control on Mako Mart. Do we see the blaster coming back?
Yeah,
Blaster.
I think I would. I mean, Blaster is already a really good just TC map or TC weapon. Sorry, not map. Blaster is not an entire map. Blaster means calm down in the chat. But it is a really strong weapon, and I think that for Mako Mart especially too, it's got a lot of ledges and a lot of areas that it can poke up and over and make really excellent use of that AoE besides just poking the tower. Because obviously poking the tower is one thing. Blaster's always going to do that well with that. But being able to poke around other parts of the map can really set it apart from just being, an okay TC weapon to being really, really great. And I think that Mako is an excellent choice for showing that off. And, does Clown's Crowns know? Have they considered that may be coming out from Melon Float? I'm unsure if they thought about that possibility.
Yeah, that's very much a possibility. But Clown's Crowns, they're going to need to adapt their game too. They need to switch things up because right now it's not working against that Melon Float, who is looking to end it here. They are one game away from being your Little Squid League 36 champions.
Yeah, and that's, it's very much so. All of it's on the line, a lot of pressure here. Now you're going to be going through a lot of new modes, assuming you don't want to go to splat zones again if you are, on their side after losing twice. So kind of got a predictable path through the rest of your games as well. We see a Blaster actually coming out from both sides, and I love seeing that side. they had a slosher. I couldn't remember, but yes, they do have a slosher, and that AoE I think as well can be really, really useful here on this map. Mako has always been an excellent map for sloshers, and right now you're gonna have an early 2 down, make that 3 down on the side of Melon Float, and this is gonna potentially give Clown's Crowns to get that big first push that they need for this set to really start getting a foothold into these games.
Yeah, Clown Crowns really needed that momentum, and they get it right now. They're moving forward, getting even more picks. That first checkpoint was just a formality to them. Getting that first checkpoint early is so good for a team, and right now it's Shoodown, it's 3 down again on Melon Float. Clown's Crowns completely awoken and clowning on Melon Float. I like saying that.
This is huge for them. This Snipe Rider sitting up there, but it's going to be forced back off by the Blaster, which is chasing them down. But they're doing just a great job spacing them out, waiting for their teammates to come in and help with that fight. And now they've got 3 down again, and that Snipe Rider got to live. Going to be building up another cooler for their team. And you can see the Clown's Crowns is just not wanting to give up this space. Look at that. Another pick from them. Another 2 down onto the side of Melon Float. The Reef Slider comes out, unfortunately clears everybody but this Splatter Shot, who's going to stay up as the last member of Clown's Crowns alive. And now 1.5 minutes into the game, we're looking like Melon Float is finally getting their first footing into this map.
Yeah, they get their footing, and it's all about finding that momentum now. Clown's Crowns, they lose 1 player, but Melon Float, they lose 2. And the Clown's Crown is back on the attack. Oh wait, no, Melon Float getting a few extra picks in that fight. They're gonna get to that first checkpoint finally. With a crab tank on the tower, they should be able to get it, and that's the kind of momentum that they want. 3 minutes left on the game, and it's 2 down on Clown's Crown. Melon Float is back in the action. They just need a few more points to move it right now. They are 3 down. They have to retreat, but right now they're finally in the same checkpoint.
I believe is that Pencil and Blaster combo there that did such a great job at defending that checkpoint, because if that Pencil can poke them, that Blaster can just kill them with an indirect, and they've got 2 down now going again for them. The Zuka turning around and finding one on the side, trying to pick off those dualies as well as they go down here. 2 down situation again for Melon Float, as Clown's Crowns is doing just a good job of trying to keep them staggered out. Finds the pick onto the Zuka, and now going to be jiggling across, but unfortunately going down to the dualies. 2 down on both sides as this game turns into a little bit of a stalemate, and now this Pencil is going to be forced to back up, and we're going to be going back more into that neutral state for just a little bit until these teams, actually I say that, and it looks like somebody touched the tower and just doesn't want to give it. As they have 2 down, you know, it may be an opportunity for them to continue this push. Look how blue mid is right now. Clown's Crowns, while they did lose some members, hasn't really lost a lot of turf.
It's really, that ability they have to come back and paint the map again so that Melon Float can not really push forward without getting an extra pick. It's the power of the tactical, and right now Melon Float, they need another big push. 1.5 minutes left, and they are back on the attack, but they are backed into a wall, backed in the corner, and they have to move away. Getting away with that Zuka is going to be key for Melon Float.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be. Right now you see that Dooley trying to rush up and cause, you know, some disruption in the backline of Clown's Crowns, but not able to do anything, unfortunately, as they kind of get flushed out, and just leaving that Blaster there who's going to be falling out and maybe jumping out. Yep, that is the right move if you're that Blaster. Get out of there. And you're back in this kind of reset mid situation. It's definitely possible, but they've got to find the right picks, and unfortunately, you know, trading these out right now is not the way you need to go. If you're Melon Float, you need to find clean picks, and another trade goes out that's only going to benefit Clown's Crowns at the moment. Is Blaster doing a great job of just crossfiring with their teammates and just picking them off as they come in.
And now Clown's Crowns are even getting a few more picks with 30 seconds left. They're not even touching the tower. They don't need to push. They just need to wait 20 more seconds. Keep Melon Float away, and they stay alive in that final. And right now Melon Float pushing with everything they have, getting every fight that they can, but they need to stay on tower right now. Clown's Crown getting the tower, and that's going to be game for them.
Gosh, what a crazy moment there. You know, I was like, is something about to come together? Like, are they gonna like find the picks? But unfortunately, you know, well, you can find all the picks you want forward, but that timer hits 0 and the other team's on the tower. Kind of GG's there. So Glon's Crown's gonna be picking up their first game here in this set, and wow, what the. You know, it doesn't paint the full story there. You know, we saw that one push that they had where they got pretty close. But for the most part, I would say Clown's Crowns was in a really big control of that game for the vast majority of it, even if they weren't able to add too much more to their lead. And now Melon Float is kind of less in this predictable pattern where they can't go back to splat zones, right? They can go back to TC, but after facing a loss like that right there on Mako Mart, I don't know if that's the move they're going to want to do. So now they're forced to go back into Rainmaker or Clam Blitz territory. And if I were them, I'd be pretty confident trying to go Clam Blitz, or not Clam Blitz, Rainmaker, and run it forward like they did before on Humpback Pump Track. It was really good for them. It worked out last time. So we're going to see what they bring to the table. They've got, you know, a lot to work with.
They have a lot to work indeed, but I feel like Clown's Crowns have such a different dynamic that what 69 Sub was giving them. And thanks to the tactical Clown's Crowns, they're happy with the fights. They're happy with things going fast. And Melon Float, who likes to be the team that goes aggressive, that goes for this fight, that goes for these trades right now, they're kind of off balance. They are struggling because Clown's Crowns is playing their own game and beating them so far. I mean, so far they're down 1-2, but they managed to really get that momentum back and win that game. So Melon Float, they need to go with something where they can counter all these crazy moves that the Clowns have been doing on Mako.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what they're gonna go, because you know I would say Humpback Rainmaker like they did last time, but I don't know if I would want to challenge a slosher on that map. To be honest, there's so much geometry there that the slosher works really well with, in a lot of the AOE that Clown's Crowns has, that it might be a little bit dangerous. So I might want something a little bit, you know, more flat, a little bit more predictable. As far as I'm looking right now, you know, like Museum, Rainmaker, maybe a map that I would potentially be looking at. Scorch Gorge, that's another super run it forward, run it fast map that doesn't really have too much extra areas to go around. So interested to see what they're going to be going through. But of course, they still have a lot open to them. Right now, they're talking about having dinner with Parias. So I don't know if that counts as a map. I don't know where we don't. I mean, Robo Ramen, that's a dinner place. Maybe we'll go there.
We're going to Squid Gorge.
Oh, I see. Listen, I just see Parias saying anyways counterpick, and it seems that Parias also doesn't know. Because I guess that they're in control of the room, they're just not gonna say it in the chat. Did that twice. Look, me and Parias shaking hands and not knowing. I'm like what? Pat? Why are you saying my name? So I Scorch Gorge, just not the right mode.
Yep, Scorch Gorge, Clam Blitz. We've seen Melon Float on this map mode earlier, but they didn't have a tent back then. Now they do, so it's going to be a different one. Let's see how it goes. Oh, yeah, it's back to tent versus tent. I love good tent gameplay, so I love it.
You know, it's really good too for this map, Pat, because you can really use it to push up this area that's usually really highly contested and hard to get around. It looks like Melon Float does get an early clam in there. They don't have too much in the basket to be able to add. The 52 there is able to add just, you know, a single extra clam. They've got one more that they could potentially add as the tent lands and is unfortunately immediately taken out. But the push to 77, that's not really the opening push you want to see. And right now it's going to give Clown's Crowns an opportunity to get back here in mid and build up their clam economy for a push.
Yeah, especially since at the end of that push, the two super jumps and the super jump spot, they got punished for it. So that means Clown's Crown, they knew they could go forward, get all of mid, and Finally, it took Melon Float a bit of time to get back in, but right now they're back in. They're getting 2 picks, and they are back on the attack. Melon Float are not wasting any time. They're making another super clam, and thanks to that tent, they can just go forward, get in, and get the ball in.
Yeah, able to open that basket, add a little bit more. Oh my gosh! The Zuka finds 2 on the Melon Float, which is definitely going to shut down their push. Are they going to pick up? They do pick up that pity in time to get another. So now they have 2 clams in hand. That is enough to be able to take the lead if they're able to get both in. But of course, they've got a lot of space. You see that they move forward, but not really past mid. Not at the speed you'd like to see for a full wipe. Potentially here, but they've got Zuka online. They've got movement coming in through here. The tent trying to come in on the side finds one, but unfortunately goes down there with the pit or with one of the clams. That's 20 points off their score that they're probably not going to be able to add to the basket, as the other members just weren't able to get far enough up the left-hand side to really be able to aid the tent in that fight.
Yeah, that tent a bit too aggressive, especially since the rest of Clown's Crown are taking their sweet time. They want to take their time, move slowly, and make sure that they get all of these clams in the basket. Meanwhile, that tent is still on the attack, and it's 10 versus 10. They cancel each other, and the Zuka coming out from the tent Sorella is going to allow Melon Float to keep that control. And Clown's Crown having 2 super clams. When you're not attacking, Thomas, it's such a pain because you have 2 of your players with a target on their back.
Yeah, and that's why I want to see a little more speed out of Clown's Crowns and a little bit more coordination. It looks like we're taking fights a little bit by ourselves. You see that shot up there, unfortunately going down, which is nobody left to support it. The tent is here, potentially going to make a play, but you see that one is able to get behind and pick off a power clam because we aren't all together on the side of Clown's Crowns, and unfortunately they're getting punished for those kinds of plays here at the moment. It's these kind of little details that Melon Float is going to be able to turn on their head and turn into a good advantage situation for them. But right now, as we can see, they are really starting to put down this ink in mid and letting their presence be known, even though they only have 2 up, right? They only have 2 up, but they're still able to hold that strong presence as Clown's Crowns is still just kind of backed up around their ramp area at the moment.
I feel like half of Clown's Crowns is a bit too hasty and the other half is a bit too patient. And that team just stretching, just trying to figure out how to coordinate, and it's always harder to coordinate on Clam Blitz because you have to manage the economy at the same time that you play the game. Melon Float right now, they have no trouble coordinating and attacking together, and that crab tank is going to get a pick and probably another 2.
Maybe, but they're going to be stuck in that pit. And the Reef Slider comes in onto Clown's Crowns. They've got a lot of space up there, but Clown's Crowns is going to be able to hold it down while they've got 3 down. They need to use this space and try to find that last member. They don't want that tent to pop out on them and just surprise them. And, you know, they're in a prime space to be able to do that. And it looks like the tent, there it goes, popping out of the ink there. Like, hey, here I am. Is taken out by Melon Float, but now you've really got 28 more seconds left on this clock. You are going to trigger overtime. Right now in your hands, you don't have the right amount of clams, especially as those dualies get a double, and this power clam at danger of breaking, they're going to have to find another one. They have enough. They just need to funnel it into that shot, but are they going to recognize that? They're able to actually save that power clam, which can be huge for them if they get the space, but they need that space and they need to work together to fight or find it. They can't play very disjointed. We have on the left side a vac, but nobody going in on it. They try to take it up right. They do find some picks. Great picks there. And it's just, they need to find the one more onto the tent. That's all it's like. This may be their opportunity. Stage. We are going to game 5 in finals. Oh my god. It's just when you need it to come together. Literally, when you need it to come together, they're able to pull it. That is great.
It's I can only imagine Clown's Crown's communications throughout this game was like, okay, do we push now or do we push later? And not being able to agree on whether to push or not, and wasting time because of that. But when there's overtime, there's no arguing. You push, and when Clown's Crowns push, they push and they get the lead. We are now going into game 5. Melon Float get to choose that final map mode. And Clown's Crowns, they have to feel good from that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And that's the thing, you can play disjointed there like it was for most of the match, but when Melon Float kind of used that very early push and kind of popped with not many clams online, you leave it open to things like that where it just takes 2 power clams to take the lead. That's why it's really important that sometimes you hold off on that initial push until you have a little bit more in the belt than just a single power clam and maybe a few others. And they're going to be going, though, to Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track. That's where we saw them win a decisive Game 5 in their previous set. They're going to be looking to try to do it again here. But, now you've got to watch out. And especially, I think, if they do bring out these tents, right? These tents can be great just shields forward for the Rainmaker. And if both sides have it, this could be anybody's game, Pat.
Anything can happen, and we saw Clown's Crowns have a bucket at the ready on Macomart. That's also the kind of weapon we could see, though I have to admit, a tent deployed on the street with a vacuum behind you, you can just make points for free, and there's nothing the opponent can do. So Clown's Crowns, they have option. It's all on Melon Flood to really keep that aggression up, to keep that fight up that they got on Scorch Gold, that almost got them that Scorch Gold game. It was just constantly going in, getting these fights, and getting forward.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to bring. Are they going to bring out these tents still? We don't see a tent on the side of Melon Float. We don't see it. We don't see it on either side. We don't see that back either coming out to potentially save them, which could have been a deciding factor. Instead, we're going back to more of those, super fast, aggressive comps as they're loading out into this game. Melon Float gets the early pop, but no one really has control here at the moment. No picks have been made, and just as I say that, get your first trade out there in mid. 2 down now on the side of Clown's Crowns, and that Rainmaker is picked up pretty early. This Carbon Roller looking to try to make some moves. The Rainmaker goes down really fast. Nothing happening there off that first push, and that's kind of typically your first Rainmaker opening here.
Yeah, and Melon Float re-grabbing the Rainmaker as fast as they can. Clown's Crown still fighting for mid. The fight for mid is not over, and Melon Float is just running at that checkpoint. They just want to get it now. They just want to get it fast, and it looks like it's working for them. They are pushing the Clowns away and getting that first checkpoint in just the first minute. Pretty good for them, but now it's the push for the street, which is a completely different game, and they're already getting in there.
Yeah, and Classroom is putting in a lot of work for Melon Float, just causing havoc there on the street and not really allowing members of Clown's Crowns to get in and stop that Rainmaker in a lot of time. Right now, though, they've got that back up. They've got the Crab Tank online to shield their way forward. They do go down after adding a few extra points to the board, and it looks like they're going to be going potentially for that knockout. There we go, Pat. Melon Float going to be your LSL 36 champions.
And what a final game after such close games that went the distance. Melon Float sealing the deal with a quick KO onto the Clown's Crowns. What a finals and what a tournament, Toma.
2 Game 5s, and both of them closed off with a decisive Rainmaker Humpback game. Melon Float, they seemingly were just saving that one in their back pocket. They knew that was their strong mode. They're like, hey, we're going to hold it out. That's going to be our final map. We know if we're going to win one, that's the one. And that's the kind of strategy you want to see there. Congratulations to Melon Float. They are your LSL 36 champions. Clown's Crowns putting up an impressive fight. Going to be ending up in second place there. Certainly nothing to scoff out of 81 teams today, finishing off in second. Down there, the third place match, 69 Sup. Going to be wrapping it up with a 3-1 victory over Distortion, and that is your LSL 36 podium. But before we go, Pat, before we sign off for this LSL for the month, tell me, where can the good people out there on stream find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PatJ or Tom with underscores in between. PatJ underscore or underscore Tom. And if you remove the underscores, you can find me on Blue Sky. And Toma, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Crest of Gautier on Twitter or here on Twitch at twitch.tv/ttoma_. But thank you so much to LSL for having us on mic today. Shout outs to all of our staff that were there today. Parias, of course, always putting in the work behind the scenes. Rob, we've got Jub here, our streamer. We got Mark, Wings, and Corgi, who are just absolutely helping us out today in that staff chat, holding it down. You are all the best. And from everybody here at LSL, thank you for watching, and we will see you next month.
Bye.